2 Peter 3:10, and the verse says that when the Lord comes, listen to this, the heavens will pass away with a great noise, and the elements will melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein will be burned up. I remember one day Denise and I were in Egypt with our family. We were there on a family vacation because Cairo is just a couple hours from Moscow, and we live here in the city of Moscow. This studio is in Moscow. And we were standing in front of the great pyramid of Egypt, the Giza pyramid, thinking about how many thousands of years that pyramid had been standing there. One of the greatest monuments in the entire world, and it's still standing there. And of course, it's made out of stone. It's not going to go away. And I said to our three sons, think about it. One of these days, the pyramid of Giza will no longer be here. The Colosseum will no longer be there. The great monuments of Turkey will no longer be there. The pyramids of Mexico, New York City, everything will be gone. I said, boys, think about it. All of these things that people think are so permanent, the Bible says they're going to melt with a fervent heat. That means everything is temporary. Your house is temporary. Your car is temporary. Your assets, everything you're going to leave to your kids, it's all temporary. One of these days, everything, paintings by Rembrandt, statues by Michelangelo, treasures that we think are so wonderful, they will all melt with a fervent heat. It means everything is temporary. Everything. It's going to all change. And when the Bible says that these things will pass away, the word pass away describes something that's temporal and soon will be fading away. The Bible says they'll pass away with a great noise. This word great noise describes a sound so loud that it's nearly deafening to those who hear it. It carries the idea of a tremendous hissing, a sizzling, a crackling sound that rushes all about, or a noise so thunderous that no one can escape it. We don't know how it's going to happen, but when it happens, it will be so thunderous. And the Bible says the elements will melt with fervent heat. This word elements, the Greek word describes everything that exists, from the heavenly bodies in the sky overhead to the mountains, the earth, the buildings constructed by man, even the smallest atomic particles. Absolutely nothing will survive the transforming, purifying fire that will melt everything. And the word melt is the Greek word luo, which describes the dissolving of a matter, or the complete dissolving of everything. The melting of the elements will occur, the Bible says, because of a fervent heat. And this phrase, fervent heat, describes a heat so intense that nothing can escape it. Nothing can escape it. And I shared all of this, by the way, with our sons when we were standing in front of the Great Pyramid of Giza. And I remind myself about it often. Our house, this furniture, this studio, everything. One of these days, it's going to be gone. A fervent heat that will transform, that will completely purify the things that people gave their lives for, that they thought would endure for all generations, will be gone. And the Bible therefore says in verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be? Think about people who live their whole life just for things they can touch and things they can see or leave to somebody else. All of these things are temporary. The only thing that will pass the test of fire are things done by faith, investments made in heaven, the souls of men. That's the only thing that will pass the test of fire. And so today, as we come to the end of November and we're getting ready to start December, why don't you just take a pause and ask yourself, what am I doing that will pass the test of fire? Something that will reach into eternity and is not just something temporary that's going to be dissolved one of these days. And if you find that you're living only for things that are going to be dissolved, you're probably not living your life right. What are you doing that will last for all of eternity? When you stand in front of the judgment seat of Christ, and you will, what are you going to have to show for your life that's passed from this world into the next world? Those are the only things that won't be dissolved. So let me ask you what Peter asked. In light of this, what kind of life ought you to be living?